it doesn't, I wish it had never been invented. Probably my favorite saying. Probably the most realistic saying of everything. All right, so tried to get on here and it wouldn't let me go on, and it wanted to upload. It wanted to update YouTube. I'm like, no, we don't have time to update YouTube. You didn't ask me to do that before I went online. All right. So we're going to, these are the Shermans that we're working on. We just finished those up. We've got a couple of olive drab colors that we're going to use for them, supposedly. We got our fan on us, right? We got our airbrush here. Let's put this thing back together. We're going to prime these, and then we're going to airbrush them in the olive drab. And how long is this going to take? I don't have a clue. Don't make any plans when you're airbrushing. You're done when you get done. You're not done until then. As my daughter used to say when she was little, they would tell her, you get what you get and you don't get upset. All right, that's all back together. Now we've got the shut-off valve on here, so that's handy. So you can go ahead and fire this thing up. And we don't have to worry about air coming out of here. We're going to need to get one of these body cavity search gloves, as I fondly like to call them. Just makes the cleanup a little easier. Happy Friday, folks. Now it's Friday. All right. We don't have to go crazy. We got this. We got the Abbas Magic Mix. We don't have to use uber strength, full strength stuff. Oh, we have a cleaning situation we're going to need to take care of. I was rushed last time I did this. What was it I said? Don't make any fucking plans. Don't make any fucking plans, folks. This is not bouncing back at all. Okay, well, I'm taking a freaking body cavity. I'm not going to get to dive into a body cavity just yet. We definitely are going to pump up the pressure then. Let's take this thing apart and find out what's going on here. Actually, before I do that, let's run some liquid through here and get some lubricative elements in there. I was rushed the last time I needed to do this. So rushed that I left that water open and the alcohol also open. Yeah, so if we're just pressing down on it, the liquid is coming out. That's not good. That means something's wrong. Just to run all this liquid out. Disconnect this. Let's take this thing apart. We'll be going in no time. This has only happened a bunch of times. It hasn't happened in a while, but last time I airbrushed, I was definitely rushed. So he did not do the proper cleaning. Let's go ahead and switch glasses. Let's put the super readers on. One of these days, these fuckers are going to break. Great, now they won't stay on my head. Okay, let's pull this needle out. Okay, the problem isn't here. The problem isn't here. Let's make sure we can see light through there. We can't. Okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised. What was that airbrushing last time? The P40. Yeah, we rushed trying to get that thing done. So the hand sanitizer works really well because it literally will melt the paint. It'll break it down. Of course, if you're not using acrylics, well, that's on you. I'm never using enamels. That's a pain in the ass. That's a pain in the ass. I want to get this done so tomorrow morning we can actually do the painting. We need to do the priming. We need to do the basic paint color, and then give it a wash. Now we can definitely see daylight through it. Plenty good. I suspect it will work fine now, okay? With just that little bit. All right, let's put the needle back in. That's completely clean. See, the nice thing is with the shutoff, I still have this at the pressure that I want it to be at. I didn't have to like let all of the pressure out and start over. Yep. All right, let's see if this works now. Getting better every time at it. I could only improve. So when we press down, we shouldn't have any liquid. And we don't. Then we pull back, and then we get some liquid. There we go. That's it. Get you some hand sanitizer, folks. Get you some. All right. We don't need to be at some killer pressure here. We can drop this down to about 20. Let's kill that. We don't need the super readers that are falling off my damn face. Your damn face! Why is your face damned, huh? Because it's trouble. Alright, let's take a little bit of hit of Coke. And I'm actually going to start with a Spitfire. Because I started spraying this and it didn't get a good finish on it. Or maybe I won't. I don't want to do it and it's dusty. Actually, you know what? I'm not. Now that I got sprue goo, I'm going to sprue goo that joint. Spitfire can wait. Alright, so we got 3 Shermans. And I'm going to use 3 different olive drabs for it. I don't expect that to be a big difference. Let's go ahead and remove this. We have that little applique armor that was coming undone. Okay, and we'll start off with the troublemaker. And this was the troublemaker that I woke up this morning and the track was split. So I hot glue gunned it down, gave it a little bit of slack so to see how there's a little bit of a gap there. So I went ahead and gave it a little bit of a so it's not real snug on here and not have the same thing that happens again. All right, so we got the Abbas formula, and we're going to use about 70-30. So I like putting the thinner first, and he actually recommends, the guy who made this actually recommends mixing it in the cup. Like, you know, he already became I was already a fan of his when he said, "Oh, you can mix it in the cup first." You know, not like put it somewhere else and then half of the liquid gets lost in the transit. Ah! Welcome. You got to put that exclamation point, because if not, it's just like, ah. Hi there. Here we are. YouTube has 2 streams on for some reason, and one is stuck at buffering because I had a false start on one of them, and I deleted it. So I don't know why it's still there. I got ready to start, and as soon as like, oh, we're downloading a new version of YouTube. I'm like, fuck you, man. You should have told me that before I went online. Damn technology. That's what I said. So that's what happens when you use a free program. Geo 811. That sounds like the name of a highway. I'm taking the Geo 811 home. Welcome, welcome. This is one-shot primer by Ammo. Oh, I forgot. I need to put my body cavity search glove. I might get it. Oh, and we got to put our safety. Got to do the safety dance with this thing. We don't want this thing to fall on the ground. You drop an airbrush on the ground, odds are you're either going to fall. It's going to fall on the front or fall on the back. A false shart is always bad news, or maybe good. Well, if you're constipated, I guess it'd be good. It's better than explosive diarrhea, I guess. All right. Let's see how this is going. Let's move this here. We got a little bit of paint on that. Look at that. All right, let me move this. Obviously, I'm out of my comfort zone, standing where I'm at. There we go. I don't have a director. I do need one of those. Which tank is that? This is a Airfix Sherman in 176 scale. One of 3. All 3 of them are 176. But they're all customized them to make them different. All right, here goes. Now I hope this doesn't fall off this what do you call it? The hot glue gun. Now let me ask you this something, Ulf. This is an Ulf question. Ever since you got this airbrush, and ever since you started using the Abbas Magic Formula, Magic Mix, I wish his name would start with an M. Maybe the MMM. Abbas Magic Mix, the AMM. Have you noticed a tremendous difference in the pleasure of airbrushing? I have. It's incredible. I don't know how long he's been airbrushing. A hell of a lot more. Hell of a lot longer than I have, that's for sure. I'm a brush painter. You only have a Revell beginner airbrush. Well, this guy, there's this Facebook page called something along the lines of beginner airbrushes and beginner trips from airbrushes from experts or something like that. And the problem with those kind of sites is you're going to get experts that treat everybody like trash, or you get people that think they know something and they just take other people down the wrong pathway. But on there, this one guy posted, his name is Kuram Abbas, and he has a YouTube channel. I don't remember what his YouTube channel is called. But he formulated this mix that works with every acrylic paint, and I'm telling you, it's for real. It is definitely. I'm definitely one of his acolytes, for sure. You know, because I was having so much issue with the airbrush, like sticking and having a fight with the airbrush. Like the last thing I want to do is spend $150 on this thing and then have to fight it, right? Or get done with my day at work and then have to fight something. You know, especially when I'm like 40 plus years brush painter. Now everything I'm doing, I could do brush painting. This is just quicker, you know? And it uses a lot less paint, and it dries quicker. So basically, his thinner work uses it with everything. 70-30. I can tell you that it does not have to be an exact formula. I can't measure things by eyedropper, because what happens is the thinner is really, really thin, and then the primer is a lot thicker. So in the process of trying to measure out a couple of drops of one thing, of the primer, you get too much of the other stuff. You know, because they don't flow out of whatever measuring device you're doing the same. Uh-oh. There we go. But zero tip dry. Zero tip. I haven't gotten tip dry once on his stuff. Really should also call it the 70-30, the 110% mix. Because the formula actually tells you it's 70% this, it's 30% something else, and it's 10% something else. I'm like, you don't have to be a math whiz to realize that that's more than 100%. Okay, this is the Airfix 176 scale Sherman, which is an M4, not an M4A1, with some added stuff from Value Gear. And the sandbags are actually meant. The Hoffman, welcome. Man, you've been on like a long writing assignment. Thanks for coming back, man. It's been a long time, like you got eaten up by a kaiju or something. What paint do you use? I heard that most people say Vallejo paint is the chillest. Well, I definitely recommend. There's a lot of brands that all will work. Definitely use something that you have locally. I use Vallejo. I use Ammo Mig, and for my washes, I end up using the Army Painter stuff. I even get into some Games Workshop paint sometimes. But this mix that this guy came up with, through trial and error, I would imagine, even works on craft paint. You had your thesis, but graduated on Monday. Now you're job searching. Let me send you a link so you can take my job. I don't want to work there anymore. Of course, there's not a whole lot of writing, so maybe you don't like that. Get me out! Now, are you significantly younger than I am? I don't think you are. Or is this like a second career for you? Or you're already in that kind of field, you just decided to go back to college? Or none of the above? I don't know, journalism is difficult. Like, everybody's a freaking journalist all of a sudden. Is it boring to work there? No. No, it's stressful. It's stressful. That's all I'm going to say about it. I don't want to talk about it. I wish my job was boring. I'd get really good at Minesweeper or something like that. I don't have a lot of sympathy for people that have boring jobs, or my office is too cold, or man, I got to work from home. Suck it. I don't think I would enjoy doing a thesis. I'd have flashbacks of science projects in school, which, by the way, I only ever did one. I only ever did one science project in school. I want to say it was 8th grade, and I hated science project because you have to kind of try to prove something that is provable. Otherwise, you won't be able to do it. So you're basically already doing something that you kind of know the answer to, so it becomes busy work. So when I hear the magic sound of the busy work signal, I'm out. Like, I have zero interest in doing it. 36, you're not significantly younger than I am. Was 30, working in retail management, wanted something better, went back to school, got your bachelor's and master's. You're looking at local reporting from mid-sized to large-sized newspapers. I hear those guys that do reporting, you got to wear some skimpy outfits to get the viewers interested. That's what I hear. Retail management. Well, I've worked in retail. It was a long time ago. And I can tell you that retail, the problem with working in retail is it doesn't pay the bills. But it's not a horrible job. I would consider working at a restaurant a horrible job. Or, there's worse things than that. But you don't want to eat at a restaurant. But do I have a fighter jet? I do not. I do not. Should I get one? Should I get one with a bunch of tires painted on it? A bunch of tires laying on top of it? I don't know. I got a couple planes, and it's taken me so long to paint the one plane. It's just in one color. Man, it really puts these tanks into perspective. I tell you what, I've been really pushing my skills to the limit the last couple days, to the point that I really need to stick with tanks. Because I'm doing shit that I didn't think was possible. I just never tried it before. So I think we got most of this. And all kinds of problems. I mean, this one is glued to the stand because this morning, this thing was good to go, and it was split here. Like, the tracks split on it because it's these dry rotted models that were sitting in somebody's garage or attic. And here in Florida, it's, you know, gets over 100 degrees easily, and all the moisture that's in that rubbery product basically disappeared. Okay, this one gets a regular turret. We have mostly tanks. Well, we're on a Sherman tear, for sure. And the funny thing is, I'm about to double my amount of Shermans that I have. And the funny thing is I don't mind having more. I don't have any modern stuff. No, it doesn't interest me. It doesn't interest me. And with all this drone shit, I'm even less interested in it. Other things I can do other than newspaper reporter. Did you say you weren't into black and white movies? I'm not. You found a Japanese World War II film about the last Japanese soldiers left in the Philippines. Oh. Is it? When's it filmed? I don't like black and white movies. I don't like black and white movies because you're not seeing what's really happening. Because, you know, they were filmed in color. If it's a World War II thing, I want to see it in color. I mean, I can just watch a newsreel if I want to see it in black and white. Yeah, we're definitely going to do the Pacific. As a matter of fact, this model show that happens in a couple weeks, that's actually what I'm looking forward to getting, some Pacific stuff. And I just picked up a book yesterday on Marine Corps tanks on Tarawa that I had no intention of getting. And then I saw the amount of detail that was in the action, and I'm like, okay, this is the kind of stuff that I like. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting a decent looking Hago, because the twos I have are terrible. A Chiha and things like that. But you know, when you go to these model shows, you want to get a good deal on stuff that has somebody's gotten stuck with for a long time. So it's pretty much out of your hands. Black and white in 1949. I started watching a World War II German movie that was filmed in like 52 or 53. That had really good reviews, but it was all black and white. I'm like, nah. I mean, I'll watch it if I have to. I mean, I can't even get through, what's the name of that movie that everybody and their grandmother recommended? And I finally found somebody showing it. The Duelist. I finally saw The Duelist. I can't get into it. And it's not because I was afraid of some of the accents, and the accents don't really bother me. But I'm like, what's the purpose of this? And my daughter didn't want to see it. She's out for dinner, otherwise I would have said, hey, let's go watch some Saving Private Ryan today. Although I'm definitely looking forward to watching parts, not the whole thing again, parts of the Pacific again. Oh, so you went ahead with the Pacific idea. Is it Philippines, Burma, China, or something different? Yes. Mainly the Philippines. I like taking movies and watching them in black and white. The original Jurassic Park in black and white turns into a horror movie. Really? Well, people that are colorblind, are they more likely to like black and white movies? I know a lot of people that are colorblind. I am not. I am not colorblind. I'll be the one that's like, hey, that's purple. That ain't no fucking purple. That's cobalt. Don't take looking at colors for me. It's one of the only things I'm good at. This one-shot primer is, I think, a lot better than the Vieja one. I think it's a lot better. It's like having a second experience, a movie you already watched. I like colorized films too. What about watching something like Misery in black and white? So there's only a few movies I've ever seen in the movie theater twice. That happens to be one of them. Back when I was in the movie theater. And I saw it about a year ago. You know, and I wouldn't call it a horror movie. It's a thriller. Now, a horror movie is like, I'm not going to be able to walk across that freaking room that's dark. So, you know, anything that is a problem that you can kill with a firearm, I'm not worried about. Right? But like something like demonic, like, man, we can't light that thing on fire. It gets more powerful, you know? That's a problem. All right, we need more of this stuff. So I wouldn't call Misery a horror movie. But I watched it again. I really liked it. I really liked it again. But, shit. Same problem these stupid containers have. You always get some on you get your finger dirty. The flaw. What have I watched recently? I've seen something worth a damn. I don't know. We've been watching some sitcoms. I have been watching a fair amount of TV with the wife, so of course it means it's, you know, stuff that's funny because that's all she can handle. Lighthearted stuff. Something that neither her or I find annoying, but then it doesn't work for either person. So what I've been doing is doing a little bit of hobby time and then regroup and watch TV later, and you get two activities in a night. Because what will happen is the thing I don't like about this hobby is the time goes by too quick. I've done like 10-hour, 11-hour sessions. 11-hour and 11 minutes, I think that's the record. And I mean, it felt like I was there for 2 hours. That's it. So like, you know, my free time flies by too quick. Me no likey that. me no, oh, no. Don't hit the ground, you son of a bitch. And what I'm really looking forward to is putting the nicknames on these things. And yes, we have a couple nicknames picked. But I just don't know what vehicle they're on yet. And they gotta be, they have to be period specific. You can't just call this thing penis wrinkle. You know, penis wrinkle hadn't been invented yet. But I've been enjoying the sprue goo a lot with what do I call her? Wendy the welder. Been mostly slacking on movies, sitting most of the day. I usually want to get up, and go out, or cook. I've yet to want to cook yet. When's that going to happen to me? I think it's a lost cause for me. I think I'd be good at it, except the multitasking part. I'm no good at that. I'm no good at multitasking. What year of the World War II in the Philippines? So here's the thing about the Philippines. If I do the Philippines, I could do 41, 42, and 44, 45. You know, I do New Guinea, but everybody does New Guinea, and New Guinea's kind of limited. You know, the Philippines, you're guaranteed I'm going to be able to use every Japanese tank. Not at once, but, you know. And it's far enough away that you don't have this naval gunfire, you know, runs the whole show type situation. But, you know, just kind of thinking about it. I don't mind doing the vehicles for it and then never gaming it. The gaming isn't the real drive between everything, but certainly learning about it. It's basically an open book. I don't know anything about it. Have I bought any miniatures? No. Well, I have lots of Japanese. I don't buy any Japanese. I had a platoon's worth of Japanese, and then Marcus gave me another half platoon. About a 70 millimeter gun. This thing. You know, tiny little, talk about a short barrel. I don't know, what is it, like 6 caliber or something like that? So support weapons for them. Got this guy, it's like, hey, I want to blow up a tank. All right, take this balloon and touch it. Won't I die? Yes, but you'll be honorable. And if you don't want to do it, you'll bring shame on your family. Japanese would be a hoot. I've already picked up a bunch of Japanese names. Japanese are like perfect for NPCs. You know, you can have Japanese, I got Japanese whiskey in the house. I can have Japanese beer, which I freaking love. I can make all kinds of sounds, you know, when it's appropriate. Like, that's like win-win. I just don't know anything about it. Well, from a wargamer standpoint, I don't know anything about it. I mean, I'm working my way through a book right now. One of the many books I'm reading at the same time. One on MacArthur's Return, which is really good. Really, really interesting. I got a P-47 model. I could have made a Mexican squadron. There was a Mexican squadron that fought in the Philippines. What's my favorite tank? I don't have one. Would you believe I don't have one? I don't. I like them. I like them all too much. I might be able to come up with a least favorite tank, but not the most favorite tank. Don't have one. I pretty much like them all. I didn't say which ones weren't good. I just, you know, because I can like stuff that's no good. What tank do I dislike? World War II tank. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. When I was a kid, I'd probably say Panther was my favorite, just because it looks cool. But I prefer my Germans in gray. I would have never said Sherman, but man, I got a soft spot for these guys. There's so much opportunity to, you know, there's so much opportunity to give these guys nicknames and put junk on them, and it's like expected. What's your favorite tank? I don't know, I'm asking. What do I dislike? There's gotta be a tank I dislike. But maybe not. Did I kill one already? Jesus, I'm like an alcoholic when it comes to caffeinated beverages. I could have a beer. That's a good way to not get anything done. Another Coke for the Coke God. Yeah, I don't know. I have a favorite tank. I mean, favorite American tank? I don't know. I like Stewart's a lot. I don't know if I have a favorite tank. It's kind of really like the Sherman. Really? That's unusual. That's unusual. The problem with the Sherman tank is this. The problem with American tanks is this. When I was a kid, and you wanted to buy toy soldiers, they only came in green, and they only had American tanks. And it wasn't that I don't like American tanks, it's just that that's all there was. So it's like, man, anything but that. Of course, when you had little army men, you didn't have a Sherman tank, you had like a Walker Bulldog or something like that. I don't like modern stuff because too much of it is asymmetrical warfare, and I'm not a fan of asymmetrical warfare. It doesn't excite me there's too much technology, you know. There's not as much in your face stuff as I would have liked. But Sherman is unusual. If you ask anybody who's a war gamer, they always gravitate towards the German stuff, and that's because the German stuff have a big variety of how they look. You know, an American tank almost guaranteed to be olive drab, like these three will be. And when you really start looking at Shermans, there's a lot of different variations of them. It's not like, oh, it's just a Sherman tank. Well, which one is it? Is it an M4? Is it an M4A1? You know, does it have what kind of hatches are on it? Are they big ones or small ones? You know, there's a lot of variations. I've never been a Tiger 1 fan. That doesn't mean I hate them. I'm not a Tiger fanboy. And I mentioned before, I think the reason why is because they were pretty much held in these special units. And I'm not a fan. I kind of like to follow the units. And I'm just not interested in finding out about Panzer brigades or heavy tank battalions or any of that stuff. Yeah, there's exceptions, but I don't like those weird small units that don't have really a unit symbol. If that makes any sense. And the Germans have very small opportunity to have a Tiger in gray. And if you have a gray Tiger, it's going to have all kinds of issues. You know, it's going to have it might have like a weird turret basket. I've spent quite a bit of time modifying these things to make them interesting. I don't think I would have done that with an Airfix Tiger. I don't think I'll ever buy an Airfix Tiger. It doesn't come with a little box behind it. It's diminutive. You know, a Tiger needs to be big. It's diminutive because it's 1/76 scale. Okay, I think this got a little too thin. I got distracted by cleaning up after myself here. There's lots of things I don't like, but it's not necessarily a vehicle. Like I won't do a British vehicle with White Star on it. I just won't do it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Roundel, absolutely. I mean, the British have a cool symbol. Why don't they get to use it? Well, they didn't use it. Well, tough. But I'm going to model the ones that didn't have a white star on them. Because that's stupid. Not in my army, pal. I'm not going to do these Soviet Lend-Lease tanks. Fuck those commie bastards. They can get their own damn tanks. Besides, they have plenty of them. There's a unit, they might have been in Sherman's, that the Soviets got a bunch of tanks in. And instead of putting red stars on them, they had white stars on them. They weren't huge, they were smaller, but it was like white stars on them. I'm like, nope. Not any doing any Soviets with white stars, sorry. And it's not like the Russians don't have cool tanks of their own. You know, I like just about all the Russian vehicles. I'd probably say I like all the Russian vehicles. I can't think of a Russian vehicle I don't like. Except those damn, you know what I don't like? Those silly aerosands or whatever. Those like ski vehicles that go on Lake Lagoda. They're just stupid looking. Like you're riding a centipede or something like that. You painted some planes lately, right? How do they fit into the rules? Well, they're just going to be objective. They're not going to be in flight. But the Messerschmitt is basically something for guys to hide behind. It's wrecked. And the P-40, well, I just wanted to build a P-40 because it was the first model I ever built. It was kind of a throwback, you know, to that. Okay, we got that done. Do I still have a little bit of black paint? I do. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and finish priming the Spitfire. I don't want to throw that away. I'm just painting them to do them. I don't want to wreck a Spitfire, you know. I really wanted to get some planes at the show. That would have been usable to use in a scenario like the Lysander, which was a vehicle that was a plane that did a lot of like drops and stuff like that for the partisans or special behind lines kind of missions. And one guy at the show had one. You know, don't get me wrong, I want to pay $4 for it. You know, I don't want to pay full price for it. I shouldn't be paying full price for anything. I got plenty of stuff to work on. It's like if you go to a garage sale, you want to pay full price at a garage sale? No. That's not what a garage sale is. Fly-by strafing them. No, that'd be too quick, man. With like 5 or 10 second turns, it'd be like there one day and out the next. I think this is still, and I have this issue with this one. It's just spraying too thin, and it's not adhering. Yeah. Better than covering up with a bunch of detail. Oh, that's right. So I was going to use sprue glue. Sprue glue. I really need to pay attention to myself. I don't listen to myself very well. There we go. And this Airfix model, I actually comes. I thought Airfix was like poor quality stuff. This Airfix model comes with the wheel, with the tires flattened. The tires that are on here, the landing gear, are flat. You know, like it looks like it's got some weight on it. I was certainly not expecting that from an Airfix model. Everybody likes this plane except that one guy. One guy actually admitted he didn't like the Spitfire. Mr. Calvert, welcome. Lord Calvert. Lord Calvert, that's like shitty Scotch, isn't it? It might not be shitty. I'm having a great day. Any day I'm not at work is a good day. Nothing but problems at work. And everything's a fucking emergency. It's not the work, it's the, oh, another thing, I have to drop everything I'm doing to do this other thing. Right. Because somebody didn't plan. Or somebody didn't have the courtesy to give me enough notice. That's what it is. It's not the work in and of itself. It's the, stop what you're fucking doing, it's another emergency. Maybe that's happened to everybody everywhere, but I'd expect some different results after having done this for 31 fucking years. Gonna get going. Age of Empires 2, got some Three Kingdoms download. It's been eating up a lot of my free time. Man, I bought that Three Kingdoms, whatever the hell it's called. Total War Three Kingdoms, and I haven't played it in years. It's too fucking complicated. Too complicated. I forget I had it. Only thing I've been playing as a war game is I've been playing some World of Warships. I know, it's a stupid game. I admit it, but it keeps you from building warships. So, in and of itself, that serves a purpose. I don't need to be doing ships, too. That's going to have the cockpit closed, so there's no point in painting that first. Which, by the way, I had painted the cockpit first on the P40 and didn't mask it and painted around it. I had no problem with it. So I guess when I think I suck at airbrushing, maybe I don't suck as much as I think I do. Okay, that's enough primer for today. And we have this I-15 also. Those are so cheap that if I never do anything else with them, I already got my money's worth out of them. All right, let's get some cleaner here. Okay, now we'll move on to the olive drab. Now, I brought all three of them out here because I think I'm going to use all three, but that may not be the case. I may dry brush. I might do all the same bottom color. I'm a freaking idiot. I'm a freaking idiot. All right, shit happens. I just get distracted too fucking easy. Why am I an idiot? I didn't prime one of the tanks. I'm sitting there looking at it. I primed all three turrets, but only two of the bodies. And I threw away this black primer for no reason whatsoever. I still have to do it again. Well, fuck it, I have to do it again. I'll learn my damn lesson. It's the you done fucked up again channel. It's all right. Don't make any fucking plans. All right. I'm only going to use a little bit. See if I can get away with that. I'm not even going to mix this. We already mixed it. I mean, I'm not going to shake this bottle. Let's try that. I'm telling you, I'm brilliant, but I'm a fucking idiot too. You're a brilliant fucking idiot. Yep, that's me. Did it rain again? Man, we went like months of it not raining, and all of a sudden it's like raining. We could use it. Don't need any lightning though. That's for the boys. All right. We got to be gentle with this because I don't want this to become undone. That's the important area to get the black in. The present. Thin as it is. Really, it's the tip dry is the bigger issue than anything else. I got pretty good lighting, but man, I wish I had better lighting. Could never have too good lighting. So we're going to go ahead and do the first layer with the Ammo MIG olive drab base. Spray it here. We're running about 22 psi. Let's drop that to about 15. We're going to put this hot shot primer away. Go away, you hot shot. Great. Clean ourselves up because before we transfer this on to something else that we don't need to get this on, I'm going to go ahead and lose the body cavity search glove. We're going to be doing some pretty fine detailed stuff here. Good old hand sanitizer. Cleans everything right up. Okay, gotta make sure you get it off your cans though, because it will eat the other paint you just put down. All right, so we got these 3 Shermans. One of them with the sand skirts, one of them with the sandbags, and one of them just with the regular little applique armor on it. And we're going to use the olive drab base from Ammo MIG. Now, Mr. Kuram says to mix this about 50-50. Pretty much everything else is 50-50 with the thinner. So that's pretty easy to do. It's pretty easy to gauge. Even though I've said before, you can airbrush these right out of the container, but the problem with airbrushing these right out of the container is that you're going to get tip dried in. And his formula, I'm telling you, no tip dry. And it's a problem, you know, having to wipe the end. You know, so if you're wiping the end, you can't use the protector here. That's what this thing is for. It's to protect the edge of your needle. So if you drop it on the ground, it doesn't bend the edge bend your needle. Well, if you have tip dry, you can't have this thing on here because you can't reach the needle with your finger. So we're going to just kind of gauge about 50-50 of this stuff. We're going to attempt. Everything's always an attempt when you're airbrushing. It's not like I'm going to do this. Nope, I'm going to attempt to do this. Let's see if we can. All right. We're going to, which one should we do first? Let's do, well, which is the first one that I primed? I think this one. Yeah, so I should be able to hold this thing. And we're going to give everything an olive drab spray over it. Not all the way, just light. Remember, we're going to use a brown wash over this, so If you don't put enough color on it, a brown wash isn't going to be noticeable. If you put a brown wash over the black, you're not going to see it. So, and this just dries instantaneous because there's such little amount of paint that's going on there. Now, the only reason I'm going to do this modulation, as people like to call it, is it's an opportunity to have a little bit, highlight a little bit more things on here than normally would be available. Okay, so we've got kind of a one coat on here. All right, so I'm going to go in here and we're going to fill in some of these areas. Difference between, say, something like this and then something like that. Now this is going to get a brown wash on top of it. Then we're going to dry brush this color back on it, add a little bit of dark sand to that same, dry brush it again, then we'll give it a pin wash, do drippings and things like that. The only thing I always flip-flop on is at what point do I put the decals. Now, one of these tanks, probably the one with side skirts, I'm actually going to use on the side of the turret, wait for it, a round star. A star, you know, a US star would have a round around it. I actually like the way it looks, but it's definitely, from photographic evidence I can tell, that's definitely a Italian campaign type thing that they used to do. Don't see that. I don't know that I've ever seen it in Normandy. An opportunity to add a little bit more contrast. And for me, one of the things that I dislike more than anything else on a miniature is that there's not contrast. And this is another opportunity to practice trigger control. You don't really need it for this. I could be doing all this with regular paint. Matter of fact, I did with those T35s I did recently. Those are just primed in black. So we've got this body where we need it to be. Let's do the turret. Yeah. Yeah. Nah. 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 Make up your mind. Nah. Nah. I haven't had somebody else that just told me, "Hey, listen, why don't you just weather with the airbrush?" Because I'm no good at it. I become one with the paintbrush when you start talking about things like dry brushing. But there's many times where I'm trying to be careful, and a lot more paint comes out than I really want it to, and I just don't have that down. I'm getting better, but I mean, I'm only making a mess because of trying to get the paint out of the bottle. I'm not even using the blood. We're using very small amounts of paint. And it's drying damn near instantaneously. Okay. And the last one, which is the Sanskrit one. Yes, that's a official terminology. Sanskrit. Another 48 hours. Another 40 hours is with Eddie Murphy. I just saved a bunch of money by switching to Geico. So I don't have Geico insurance, and I don't think I'd ever want to have them. I hate their commercials. They're not funny. And this, you know they spend a lot on commercials. Oh. And just like that, the garage is open. Open sesame. I don't see the daughter coming in. Well, it's almost time to stop, that's for sure. What's up, Justin? I don't remember anything about 48 hours. I know I've seen it. I don't think I've seen another 48 hours. You prefer it to Beverly Hills Cop? Have to have the turret look equivalent. Howdy. All right. Hold on one second, folks. Okay. All right, so I need to wrap this up because, yeah, I was like on the fence about like I was going to take her. She was going to go meet one of her girlfriends for dinner. I'm like, I gotta go there. I gotta go to Hobby Lobby. It's right next to Hobby Lobby, but I'm like, man, I gotta get some painting done. And she's been gone for almost 2 hours, more than 2 hours, and I just barely gotten these couple things done. This just takes a long ass time. We're brushing. Don't make any fucking plans. All right, one more turn to go, and then we'll wrap up this popsicle stand. I haven't showered. It'd be stupid to shower and then come out here. Haven't had dinner on purpose. Otherwise, I had dinner before, and I need a second dinner when I got back in. Just take another look at this and make sure everything is still we're gonna put a wash on top of this. I think we're good. I think we're good with this. So how much we got left? Not that much. Yeah, I don't know anything about another 48 hours. I know I've seen the first one. There's probably that feature's in there somewhere. Back when he used to be funny. He's been alright. I've seen him in a couple things as an adult. Like he wasn't an adult back then. You know what I mean? Now he's got kids and a family and stuff like that. It's still not that bad. It's still Eddie Murphy. Some people are more tolerant to be able to put up with him if you just like him. All right, I'm going to do something I shouldn't do, which is I'm just going to clean this. I'm just going to leave it like this. I left it dirty last time. Pull this thing back. It's not that dirty. Okay, well that's where we'll leave off at. We want to make sure we drain this. Is this thing on or not? Yep, it is. Okay. And we're going to put a wash on this tonight, and then when we start back tomorrow morning, we'll dry brush these, and then we can start working our magic. Can't wait to give them nicknames. Already got a whole bunch of them picked out. They're all period specific. All right, folks. Thanks for stopping by as always, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.